Boom, boom. This is Ken. Everybody, welcome back to the channel. All right, we got a little bit of Bleach Immortal Soul up today. So there's just a few things I wanted to go over. All right, so the season pass has ended. Today is the last day to get it. So you should be able to, I mean, if you're doing your dailies on a daily basis and doing everything as normal, as you can see, you should have no problem getting to level 60, which is what I did get. So I did fully get here. Also, the treasure hunt portion is still open. As you know, the event ended yesterday. In terms of the actual obtaining more of the keys, so if you wanted to do more of the picks, but you can purchase if you want to from the recharge, if you want to get some more keys. But this will be open just for another day. So, what are we looking forward to? Well, if you look at the Biz Leaks, which Bleach Immortal Soul's leak channel, you'll find out there's a couple things going on here. So, first of all, it looks like possibly new character, Kazeshini. Okay, so this not a very well-known character within the Bleach timeline, but a new unit. So they do have a picture for him, and then another one is going to be a Soul Box event. It looks like for Yoruichi and Halibel. That's resurrection form Halibel as well. But and here's the kicker for me. It looks like there's going to be a Barragan and a Tensazangetsu Soul Box event. That is the one I'm waiting for, and that is the reason I have not been using my Soul Jade for anything but that, because as you know, the #1 most powerful character on my team is Tensazangetsu, and I do need his weapon. So a Soul Box event will allow me to get shards for him and get his weapon. So I'm definitely going to try to bring him up. Definitely get him into the 6-star territory would be my most. I'm going to try to need to get a full 240. Whenever they have the Soul Box events, they also have the Soul Jade rebate. So I'll probably be able. It's going to be close. I'm not sure. I'm probably not going to be able to get anywhere near the 240 they needed, but I should be able to get close enough that I can do it with some of my Omni shards and take him up. Because my first order of business is getting Azur up to 5. I'm close to doing that. His promotion right now is 150. Well, 145 actually. I've got about 115, I believe, or something like that. How many? 117. So I'm very close to being able to do that. But with this Soul Box event coming up, yeah, it's going to be tricky. So I'm holding off on everything right now. So I'm probably not going to pull on the. I'm not sure the leaks. You go to Biz Leaks on the Discord. They're not exactly giving us any dates. It's just they pulled these images, and so that we know that the events these events are coming. So we're not going to share who's going to be first. We're not going to share which item will be. It's pretty much iffy. My assumption will be that we'll probably see. Kazeshini most likely will be first. Then probably, I'm actually thinking that the Barragan and the Tensazangetsu Soul Box will be next, simply because having a Soul Box for Yoruichi just soon after she was released seems a little bit odd. Okay. I know they said that they were going to dramatically increase the frequency of the Soul Box events, and that's obviously what they're doing. But I would think that since Yoruichi was just introduced not too long ago, that having a Soul Box event for her that fast would be pretty unusual. So we'll probably see new character release on Kazeshini, which I will not draw for, because I'm going to save all my Soul Jade for the Barragan and Tensazangetsu Soul Box. So hopefully that'll be the second event. It could be the first event. There's no dates. What they've done is they've just pulled the images off of the server, so they know that the events are coming, but there's no date as to which event is going to be first and which it's a leak. So a leak is just basically something that's happening in the future. There's not sure idea of actually when it's going to happen. So So remember, Yoruichi and a Halibel Resurrection Form Soul Box, and a Barragan and Tensazangetsu Soul Box. So if you have any 4 of those characters, you don't want to use your Soul Jade on the Kazeshini new unit banner, simply because of the fact that you'll be able to get a weapon and some shards for one of your top characters if you use them on your team. So just remember that. So I wanted to go ahead and put a video out about that in terms of what's coming up in the future. So it looks like it's going to be pretty good. So it looks like they're holding true to them saying that they were going to introduce a lot more soul box events, and that appears to be the case. So what's going on today? There's not much going on in terms of new stuff. We've got the standard the gacha bonanza. So you definitely want to pull in the gacha, just simply because of the fact that you can get Omni shards. Okay, and over 2 days you want to try to pull at least 50. That will get you all the Omni shards. Okay, over a 2-day period. But again, I'm doing all of that with actually, just doing it with the actual, tokens. So I haven't had to use any Soul Jade, and I'm not going to use any more Soul Jade for anything. Simply because of the fact that I definitely want to save as much as that can for the Tensazangetsu Soul Box. So I'm really glad. I was hoping that they would have. They'd have a soul box event for him. I was sort of thinking that he would be pretty soon, so because of the fact that, based on the time frame that he was released, and we hadn't heard anything from him, I was sort of thinking that they were probably going to throw something in there in relationship to him pretty soon. So that is coming up. So remember, Yoruichi armored version. That's the UR version of Yoruichi, and Halibel, the resurrection form. That's going to be one of the soul box events. And then the other one will be Barragan, resurrection form, and Tensazangetsu. So if you're using any 4 of those characters, you might want to hold on to your Soul Jade and start stocking it up so that you can blow it on one of those soul box events. That'll give you a chance to get a bunch of shards for that character, as well as the weapon, so that you can awaken it, making the character much more powerful. I mean, Tensazangetsu is my most powerful character, and I don't even have his weapon awakened yet. So this is definitely going to make him much, much stronger, and should be able to make a big dent in terms of my arena. Maybe get into the top 5 consistently. And basically right now in the top 10, 15 consistently, but I'd like to be a little bit higher than that. Plus, it'll help, coming up in the story modes. As you can see, the story modes are getting a little bit more difficult. So we're going to have a video probably I want to say over the weekend. We're probably going to do the stages. We'll do the elite stages first, and then we'll do the actual elite stages to get enough of the actual stars so we can proceed to story mode, the next story mode, because we got to get quite a few stars. So we'll be able to snatch those up inside of the elite stages. Okay, so we're going to start running through these, and we'll probably do that over the weekend, most likely. Maybe on Friday. I don't know. Have to depends. Now, in another video, I did a video previously about Azur Lane. About the event, the ending of the build and sorties. Well, yesterday on Twitter they had posted that they were going to extend that for a week. They haven't changed the date to reflect that yet, but I went ahead and went out on a limb and changed the listing on my actual video to say that it's been extended for a week. I was really wanting to see them actually post the date change. They still got it listed at 6/9 as it's ending, but it seems to be, they posted it on their Twitter, so if you want to see it, you can go to Twitter. So I went ahead and changed edited the title on the video saying that they've extended it for a week. I was hoping they'd post that, just make it would be like a little 20 megabit update to just adjust those dates, but they didn't. So but I went ahead and changed it just to not mislead anybody to think that you need to do that today. So it looks like there's going to be another week. So a build. So I'll be able to get another copy of New Jersey. So I won't have to purchase any balloons to level her up and a few other things. But that's on Azur Lane video, which I posted up. So if you want to go back and you can check on that. It's a video before this. But yeah, I just wanted to go ahead and post this up because the leaks are confirmed that, so there are images for those, so those events will be coming. So the next 3 banners will be the Kazeshini new character banner, a Yoruichi and Halibel resurrection form soul box event, and a Barragan resurrection form and Tensazangetsu Soul Box event as well. If nobody has gone, Tensazangetsu is an excellent character. He does what's called he hits twice, which is what makes him so potent. Because he hits once and then he follows up with another attack, and that's immediate. Okay, you'll see the hit where the whole screen goes completely like blue, sort of like a Tensazangetsu, but then he follows up and then bam, another backslash with a bunch more damage. So he double hits, which is why even though his weapon's not awakened, he's considered my most powerful character. He even beats White Ichigo, who does a ton of damage as well. So he's definitely a character that you want to focus on. So if you don't have him, this Soul Box event is a chance, if you're lacking in terms of maybe in the story mode and stuff, he's an excellent character. Also, something important about his skills is the fact that as the characters become weaker, so he gets stronger, he does more damage as the fight goes on. Okay, so putting him at the end of your chain, because the more health that the less health that the enemy has, he does more damage to them. So that makes him doubly strong in terms of just the power that he deals out. It's amazing, which is one of the reasons that I'm decided to go ahead and make him one of my priorities. So in terms of I need his weapon. I've got White Ichigo's weapon. Okay, I need Kenpachi's weapon. I got the weapons for Ichigo. I did manage to get my hands on Ichigo's weapon finally, and I've got Yoruichi. So this is my main team. Guardian stance is I have Yamamoto in my Guardian stance. I also have her Minazuki. I have not managed to get Minazuki's weapon yet. I'm 5 shards short on Minazuki. So I'll get her on the next World Boss event. Not the World Boss, I'm sorry, but the World Championships. The last World Championships, I managed to get into the Platinum level, so I managed to get 50 shards, and I went ahead and spent all of those 50 shards to get Ichigo's weapon, because I use Ichigo inside of a Squad Boss, because he's an excellent attacker in the Squad Boss. So I'm 5 short on getting Minazuki. So the next World Championship, I'll of course get enough shards to actually get her weapon, because Minazuki and Ichigo's weapons are weapons that they don't offer inside of the gacha. They offer mostly all the other characters, SSR characters, seem to have here in the Gear Exchange you can get their weapons, but for some reason, you can't get Minazuki or Zangetsu in here, which is their weapons. You can't. They just don't offer them for some reason. Those Impact 2s. I don't know why. But you can't get them inside of here. So the only way to get them is really through the Soul Box. Which is something that you can get inside of the World Championship, as long as you participate. You should definitely participate in that, because even though you have to get into the top level to get any type of UR rewards, but you can still get tons of SSR rewards, as well as a bunch of Omni shards. So you should definitely participate, and I do. And I did pretty good last time. I managed to go up a whole new level than what I did in the previous one, which shows that steady growth in the account, which enabled me to get a full 50 shards for a UR weapon, and finally managed to get Ichigo's weapon. So the Tensazangetsu Soul Box event coming up, I'll be able to get his weapon as well. So that'll just leave Kenpachi, and hopefully in the next World Championship I'll maybe get a level where I can get that UR weapon choice, and we'll see how that goes. But it's going to be up there, but we're moving along. Yeah, so look for something this weekend, maybe Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. We'll go through the elite stages, get a bunch of stars. Hopefully we'll get enough stars that we can proceed into the next in the story mode. Once I've got that, then we'll of course do the story mode, and I will of course do a video on it, so you'll get to see how to go through it. It'll give you a little bit of an idea of what you're going to face when you get there yourself, so that you can plan your team accordingly. Now, understand the last story mode was pretty. There was a lot of people who had trouble with 24. Okay, rightfully slow. Rightfully slow. It was tough, especially 8 and 10 were very difficult. What we had Grimjow raging immediately. Every single swipe was a rage. Okay, so it was really difficult for people to survive that. If your team, a lot of people have been focusing on, up until now, they've been focusing purely on, I don't know how many times I'll see a team with 6 attackers. You're not going to beat 24-8, 24-10 with 6 attackers. You're just not going to do it. You need to have tanks in the front row to take up and soak that damage. 2 of the best tanks in the game are Iwakura version 2, because he throws up a shield, plus he has a ton of, he can take a ton of damage because of his defense down, and he also, that shield covers all of your vanguard, so that gives you a couple shots right off the bat of no damage until the shield gets broken. Okay, another good one is Azur's Pearl. His resurrection form, simply because of the fact that he revives. So even if he dies, he comes back, and he comes back with a fairly decent amount of health. It's not something like where he dies and he comes back with just like little teeny weeny little bit out. He comes back with a couple of bars, so that's enough to put him in for at least 2 or 3 or more rounds. So, and they're both tanks. Okay, another good tank, but who's not categorized as a tank, is Full Hollow Ichigo. He does Rage Steal and Life Steal, which allows him to keep inside the battle. Okay, that's my front line. Okay, and it protected me through 24-8 and 24-10. Okay, so just make sure that, you know, if you don't have any tanks, you might want to start focusing on one. And the reason I'm bringing that up is because there is a Barragan resurrection form at Tensazangetsu Soul Box. Barragan is a tank. Okay, so you might want to consider investing in Barragan in that Soul Box event if you need a tank. It's a pretty good tank too. Okay, so I do have him. I did pull for him. But like I say, I was already decided on Azur Pro, simply because I like Azur Pro and I like the fact that it revives. But Barragan, the resurrection form, is a pretty good tank. So let me see here. Right here he is. Okay, so he's a he's a tortoise. Okay, he still deals damage when dying and he's poison. Okay, but he's an excellent tank. Okay, this guy has an excellent survivability. Okay. So you might want to consider focusing on him, because I see a lot of people using him as a tank, and he does a really good job. So if you're looking for something like that, this is Azur Pearl. Azur Pearl is a tank, but he revive. Okay, so that's what he's designed for. He's 4-star and he still survives. I mean, every now and then he might die, but he revives, so it doesn't really matter. So, which is one of the reasons I like him so much. He's one of the few characters that has a straight flat revive when he dies. Okay, and it seems to be unpreventable. I've never known him not to. Okay, so yeah, so that's what I've got. And then, like I said, other tank is of course Korra. He's a tank. Okay, now you remember, not everybody's going to have the actual tank symbol, but they're still tanks. Okay, he's a tank, but Death Steal, which is his good. Okay, and he throws up the shield. Okay, and that's what makes him excellent in terms of using, is that shield, because it helps to get a couple hits in, because at the beginning the ally front row gains a shield equal to percentage of your core's hit points. Okay, so what you want to do is get his hit points up as big as possible. Okay. And that's, more defense on him. So I've got a War Soul of Armor on him, okay, to increase his defense. So he has good survivability. And that shield, you can usually get 2, sometimes 3 hits before the shield actually disintegrates. So that's, that's 3 free shots. And that can make all the difference. And it did both him and Iwakura, and both Azur Pro were allowed me to get the 3 stars and 24 on those 2 levels that a lot of people were having trouble with. Okay, I think most of the people were able to get by it, but they only got 1 star, or had to go back and try it several times. But yeah, I put out a video shortly after we did it, because it was pretty tough. So it'll be interesting to see how 25 is in terms of have they taken the bar up, or have they sort of leveled back out again? So maximum that you can get at 24 is 2-star green. Okay, green 2 is his maximum that you can get. You'll have to go to 25 if you want to get any farther. Okay, you can green most of your weapons as well too. As you can see here, I've got green 1 on most all my weapons. There's a few that I can't. These 2 I need to clear an elite stage for both of these 2. So once I clear that elite stage, I'll be able to take their weapons up to green as well. But other than that, everything else has seemed to be green. So I'm pretty much maxed right now in terms of what I need to go to the next story. So I'm maxed. So there's no use sticking around and focusing on anything anymore. I was focusing on PvP a little bit, so I was working on getting Yamamatsu up to green. But don't, you know, they're not usable in the story mode, so I don't need to do that. So it's just a matter of finishing up the story modes and the elite stages, and we'll do that this weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, one of those days, and we'll do both. Hopefully I'll get enough stars to open up the story mode. All right, but I did want to let you know about those soul box events so you can plan accordingly with your soul jade. So if you use any of those 4 characters, as I mentioned before, you want to start stocking your soul jade so you'll have some, so you can blow it on whichever character you want. It's a good chance to star up a character, and definitely, most importantly, a chance to get their weapon. All right, so thanks a lot for watching. Remember to subscribe to the channel. Once you've subscribed, you'll see a bell if you're going to be notified each time I do drop a video. Also, remember to share and like the video, as that does help the channel immensely. So this is Ken Rear, coming at you from the corner, signing out.